To this day,
my first experiences, but ironically, in American Pie.
No.
Yeah.
I love pie.
Growing up, Rihanna ate a lot of pie.
I said no.
Grew up eating pie and ice cream.
Yeah.
We never had ice cream in the house.
I was like, when you said that, Rihanna was like, how many times did I eat pie? That's what that no was about.
I forgot why I wrote that, but it was really good. Like, a lot of times I wake up in the middle of the night from having a dream of teenage boys and teenage girls. Then it's like, I have to write it down.
You know we recorded, right?
Right, and then I wake up in the morning, it's like, what the fuck was I dreaming about?
Teenage boys and teenage girls.
Apparently.
Did you adjust this one?
Nah, is that why that whole 17-year-old thing was so personal to you last episode?
No, in my dreams, all ages are legal.
Oh, we may want
So going to your house was like going to Neverland.
to.
When I dream, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
You Captain Hook?
And the Pied Piper.
Cairo.
Huh?
You Captain Hook? Put Flash KKK.
What?
Yeah. I just remember every time I Google something, I just think about y'all and last time when you was like, you can't put that in Google. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I just be
22-year-old.
Like, this guy wants to learn how to get to the KKK fast. Adam is a PhD student. He holds multiple degrees in religion, null and void. He can talk about anything. Really, he likes food, music, sports, history, TV, and Antarctica. Nope. He's really good at giving hot takes on just about any topic. I've seen it firsthand.
What's
Yuck.
with you in Antarctica?
It's the most fascinating place on earth, man.
Nope.
How so?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to get into it.
Oh, okay.
It'll probably be a 5-minute
well.
topic. It's Antarctica. Where they have penguins and ice.
But the thing is, Antarctica is the biggest continent.
Okay.
Is it? I don't
I
think it's a continent.
don't know. I know it doubles its size every
a
year
continent.
because of all the ice, but yeah, it is a continent. It's
That's-
also
see,
the
that-
biggest
that-
desert
I
in
didn't
the
know that
world.
was its size.
Yeah.
How does
it's-
it double in size?
that part of the world gets so cold, it just like the ice around it freezes, and it's just one big sheet of ice.
And then it goes back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like,
I don't need to explain it.
If it didn't.
Right. Eventually. This bitch don't know.
wait, stop that.
Can they hear that when he plays it?
I'm gonna.
But who is this guy? Wait, I've seen
Ezra
this.
Miller, the Flash.
Oh, that's who that guy is.
Yes, you've seen this before.
Yeah, I've seen his TikToks.
Yo,
I'm like,
all right, so let me get a start.
oh my God. It's all coming to me now. Yeah.
It's me, Trell, and today we have the Supreme Cairo, Ri'Yadh Diesel, and we got Wash on the ones and twos today because Nathan couldn't make it today. Also, Isaac's not going to be here today, but they will be back. But we got a special guest today, and today we have Adam. He's
Took you a second to think of my name.
I was trying to think if should I say your last name or not. But
Corolla.
Adam is a
PhD student.
PhD student.
Yeah, he's a PhD. Apparently, I Googled him. He's a PhD student.
Yeah.
Antarctica apologist. So,
Yeah.
Adam, how are you doing, man?
I'm good, man.
What's going on? Tell us something a little bit about yourself before we get started on this KKK stuff.
Oh, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to start. I feel like somebody with my accent, probably shouldn't say too much if you start the sentence out with the KKK.
Oh, we're just waiting to get the white guy on so we can do this. We want to get their personal taste.
Real quick. So, Adam grew up in the mountains, right? Like
I did,
Backwoods,
yeah.
North Carolina mountains. Mm-hmm. Was there a lot of
got that.
KKK up there?
I know people who know people that are in the Klan. I don't personally know any.
You gotta have the middleman, right? If you say I know the KKK,
Yeah.
then it's a different story.
No, it's like my mom like wanted to shelter me from stuff like that.
I
you
like
know?
that. Your mom.
No, like I definitely wouldn't say that my parents are like, they're not with us anymore, but they weren't like, beacons of like liberal thought when it comes to race and stuff.
Yeah.
But they wanted me to be better than they were and their parents were. And so they wanted to keep me away from stuff like that. So, I mean, but I have cousins, for example, that
Here we go.
know people that are in it. So, yeah. So, I don't know.
Did you happen to see any like a lot of racist stuff growing up over there?
In the mountains?
Yeah.
You need black people to be racist. If there's no black people living in the mountains. In the mountains?
They're a significant black population, although I grew up in Polk County, and that's like the smallest county in North Carolina. And like most of the black people all have the same last name. And so I imagine, go ahead.
I was going to ask about that.
The Jacksons of the mountains. Really.
No.
Yeah.
Is there a really big inbred population over there?
I mean, it's the mountains probably, but I mean,
Are you a product of that?
No,
You don't know.
You're thinking about the hill people, not the mountain people.
yeah, well, my grandpa was related to a lot of people in town, right? So I did research on my wife, to make sure that I wasn't related to her. And I don't think I'm related to her, but
You didn't meet her out there in the mountains, did you?
yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, dude. The first time I ever lived outside of the mountains was in like 2016, something like that, 15, 16. So I lived like in the mountains my entire life, right? So like 30 years. So
You said you lived in the mountains?
yeah. Yeah,
Well,
like
so-
hillbilly, like moonshine, banjos.
That's all those things come to my mind. I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
Dude, like for
So-
real, like if whatever you've seen on TV about people from the mountains, if it's not exactly true, it's based in something that's true.
I always think about Powerpuff Girls with the guy the sitting there playing on the banjo. Like, get off my property! That's all I think about.
You don't play a banjo, do you?
Was it Country
No,
Bumpkin?
no. I would like to play a banjo, but I don't.
What was his name?
The Powerpuff Girl dude.
Fuzzy Lumpkin.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, Fuzzy Bumpkin.
Fuzzy something.
Fuzzy Lumpkin, the country bumpkin.
The only one I remember is Mojo Jojo.
Mojo Jojo.
Monkey.
I remember.
Now that I think
him.
about it, the president was affiliated with the devil. Mojo Jojo was a bad guy, the monkey. Clearly, he was supposed to be the black guy. Then you have the country bumpkins. All the Powerpuff Girls have different personalities, and their dad was clearly a pedophile.
How is he clearly a
what's the name?
pedophile?
Who sits in a laboratory and makes 3 teenage girls for what? To fight the evils of the world.
Well, maybe he was just trying
Wait,
to
wait,
pimp
wait,
them
no,
or
no, no,
something.
no.
I mean, like, it could have been a money making thing.
Here's
I don't know,
out though.
Bubbles.
Here's out though. My man's created them. He was creating them for a different purpose. He accidentally made them superheroes. Now you can't do the things you want to do to them because they might kill you. Just saying.
Just saying that doesn't mean that he's like.
It's a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
this
mean-
was the point all along.
Yeah, maybe he's not a pervert though. Maybe he's just a businessman.
Well, why did he
know.
make 3 little boys? I mean, if you want to
Well,
get
because he
something
would be a
done, you
pervert
get
if he made
boys
3
to do
little
it.
boys.
No, he would be a
Like-
gay pervert, but he would still be a pervert.
Yeah, I'm-
If you want to get something done right, you make boys so they can save the world. Because think of how many times the Powerpuff Girls didn't save the world.
They actually did some harm sometimes too.
Exactly. You know how women be? Let's talk about the Flash, man. I've seen these videos and I just thought it was just some. I thought they kicked him out the KKK and he was like a gangster, but it's like looking at it, it's like holy crap, that's the Flash.
I did not do any like real research on this, so I don't know exactly.
I seen the video. He was like, y'all want to die? You better kill yourselves
crazy.
before I do it. And I'm like, whoa.
Play it, but the remote is right behind the laptop, so turn up a little bit so we can hear really good what he's talking about. Because when I saw this, I was like, oh, he's like being funny because like he has a Flash movie coming out, whatever. And then I was like, oh no, he's serious. Watch, not that
Is
loud.
this guy
Good
Asian?
Gracious, turn it up to like 10. 3. All right, go ahead, play it.
Hi, this is Ezra Miller, aka the Bengal Ghouls, the Mad Goose Wizard, and this is a message for the Beulahville chapter of the North Carolina Ku Klux Klan. Hello, first of all, how are y'all doing? It's me. Look, if y'all want to die, I suggest just killing yourselves with your own guns. Okay? Otherwise, keep doing exactly what you're doing right now, and you know what I'm talking about. And then, we'll do it for you if that's really what you want.
Whoa.
Okay. Talk to you soon, okay?
See?
Bye!
See, this is what happens.
Is he like that?
You give a guy a superhero costume and he thinks they're real superhero.
Well, see what's so crazy is he starts out the video slurring his name. Like, Ezra, and I'm over here like, this dude's drunk.
No, the thing that got me is he said, hey, it's me. If you say that to somebody, that's the most basic thing you can say.
I think that was the first.
Oh yeah, when he flipped his hair, it was like, so if you want to die,
You call yourself the Numataki Dragon? What?
I don't know, man.
Is he Asian?
And well, here's the thing too. He says, if you want to die, shoot yourself. But he says, but
if not, Will
who is we?
The Justice League? Like, who does this guy think he is?
Yo,
Is that him? Oh, okay. I didn't know he was like that.
Well, like, for
I'm
real,
sorry,
though,
he-
didn't...
He is zesty, though. He was like, first of
Very.
all,
yeah.
you know who it is? His fingernails were painted. He had little thunderbolts in his
Yo,
fingernails.
he looked like he was about it though.
He scared me.
I'm not gonna lie.
If any dude says it's me, you already know. That means Google me. You know who I am.
It's crazy
me.
because
Yeah, but
like,
still, though, you look at the guy, he doesn't look like he's going to be able to whoop nobody, though.
Exactly,
I
which-
mean, like,
which
Which be the ones though?
that's what
Those be the ones.
that's what scares me about it because like he doesn't even sound like someone who's like that. But when he talks like that and is serious like that, you're like,
It's the confidence.
is he crazy?
It's the
like,
confidence.
has he killed somebody before?
Like he's driving in North Carolina talking about the KKK.
It's like he was driving to find them too. It's like,
That's
I know where
I
you're
heard
at.
it in the GPS. It was like, White Dragon House. 2 hours. Take next left.
Yeah, but that's crazy though.
Man, I've kept seeing these videos and I'm like, I know this guy from somewhere.
I want to know yo Ezra, if you
He said, you know what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah.
what is...
like that's what I'm saying. Like what personal ties does he have here? This sounds like, hey,
It sounded like he got exiled
no. Listen. This sounds like the next superhero movie he needs to
in
make.
real life.
Yeah.
Like, this is like his real origin story.
Like 10 years from now, this is going to be a true story movie.
Well, didn't back in the day, like, Superman or Batman or one of those guys take on the Ku Klux Klan
was
in the
actually the
comic
Black
books?
Panther.
Or the Black Panther?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
And I think Peacemaker. No, I'm serious. I think it was Peacemaker.
You talking about John Cena?
No.
Oh.
The Peacemaker comic.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like in real life. Or I thought you were saying something.
No, it was a
Okay.
comic. Like, I think it was one of the
Gotcha.
stories.
It was Captain America definitely took him on. Because one of the other Captain Americas was like the head of the Ku Klux Klan.
That was part of the whole.
As a matter of fact, I want to say it was the guy that's in the he's depicted in the new one in the series. That guy was supposed to be, what's his name?
From the new Captain America?
Yeah,
You mean the Winter Soldier and
yeah, the Winter Soldier. What's the main antagonist's name?
I only watched the first
Bucky
episode.
Barnes,
No, that's the Winter Soldier.
Red
I'm talking about
Skull?
the Captain America.
Red Skull,
Captain America. What was his name? The new Captain America.
Falcon. Oh, the new Captain America.
Did you
Oh,
see it?
I know you're talking about. I don't remember. He's like Captain Peace or Justice or something.
Right.
Like that.
So in the comics, he was actually a Klans member.
Yeah. Isn't that? It didn't it seem like in the show they kind of like
Underlying, yeah,
It reminded me of The Boys.
yeah, a little bit, yeah.
With,
I forgot about her.
Yeah, she was.
What was her
she
name?
was awful.
Homefront?
Right, exactly. Yep, that's exactly how it was.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that'd be a good comic. I'd read it.
Yo,
One
Ezra
little
really-
zesty Asian dude
Is
going
he
on.
Asian?
Well, I mean, anytime you see the Klan getting their ass whooped, that's a good time, right? I mean, like,
That's a good time.
There's so many questions I have about that, man.
Me too, man. I need him to explain.
How it
I
happened?
need to know
How do you
well,
beef
the
with it?
Beulahville chapter. Is that close to Charlotte? That's what
Rihanna's like, I want to join.
No, I want to make sure I don't say the wrong
No, I'm saying I
thing.
want to join whatever league Ezra Miller's trying to start.
I'm gonna warn him. I'll be like, hey, man, he's coming for y'all. Hope y'all know. Apparently, he's fast.
Apparently he's fast. Yeah, but yeah, I need my questions answered. I need to know more about this whole story. Like, I really need him to put out something out there.
What is Warner Brothers doing about this?
I don't know.
Like, they can't have this guy.
Well, Warner Brothers
We're
probably
gonna
is like,
take a side.
You gotta take a side.
Number one, someone's getting canceled.
I'm just saying, like, how
Hopefully it's a
mad
plan.
could you get at the guy, though? I mean, right?
I guess
I
you're
feel
right,
like
but-
that's somebody that, like, we all should be able to agree. Like, should you go around threatening to kill him? Probably not.
If they're vampires, maybe.
Yeah.
But this guy's like trying
No,
to
but I
take
think
it.
everybody appreciates the sentiment either way.
But do you cheer for him? Because let's say he's successful. Let's say he takes out the Klan.
do we cheer
As black people, it's like, man, we've been putting up with this all this time, and it took this guy.
all it took was a flash.
This guy does it in like a week on TikTok.
He does it in a
And
flash.
he's recording it the whole time. It's a lose-lose, man.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's a good story. That's like that was the most interesting thing of my week. Cause I still just want to know, like, I kind of want to know who Ezra Miller is now. Like, I know who he is as far as like the Flash goes.
I thought the
but,
same
like,
thing. I was like, where'd they get this guy from?
yeah, I was like, but now I'm looking at him. I'm like,
What else
what's
has
his
he done?
background? Cause what's
Nothing.
You gonna pull it up?
Ben
IMDb?
Affleck's not doing anything. I mean, he's out doing Batman. Superman is freaking the Witcher now. Nobody's
yeah.
doing anything. Aquaman just got a divorce. I mean, this guy's a man now.
Oh,
It's all about the Flash.
I heard he was messing with.
Zoe Kravitz.
No,
No.
she's sleeping with Batman.
I want to say the breaker of slaves, the dragon queen. It was the breaker.
Khaleesi.
No, you're thinking about
Khaleesi, yeah.
you're thinking about the show.
No, I'm talking about in real life. That's the reason.
Have you seen her in real life?
Yeah,
I mean,
She's not attractive in real life.
Yeah,
I think so.
whatever floats your boat.
She's really short. She has really stubby arms.
She laughs.
No,
like
you're
really
you're
weird,
saying
too.
that like it matters. I'm of the opinion that
Oh, man.
any woman, given the right situation,
I just
could
doubt
have
that's what
any
you
Watch.
man.
Turn my mic up.
No,
listening.
no, I'm just, any woman could have any man under the right circumstances. Dog ugliest woman could have the most attractive man that's ever lived, given the right circumstances.
What are those
How?
circumstances?
I think it's more reverse.
It's the opposite way around.
Yeah.
Well, you're
I
talking
feel-
about
so
a
you're
guy
saying-
would be able to
If he was
Absolutely.
rich,
Not even
Wait,
that.
wait, wait. I think
if you have the right characteristics,
Hugh Hefner
you
had
can-
like
you can
80
say
like hot women at his mansion every day, and he could just snap his fingers. What woman? You said an ugly woman?
yeah, I'm saying ugly. Okay,
short, fat,
let's say
ugly woman.
let's say that you've been striking out a lot, right?
I have.
Okay, and you you're just hard up.
Yeah.
All right, and then you see a crack in the door, so to speak, a little light coming through. It just happens to be a really ugly woman. Like there's going to be a situation. There's going to be a time where you just want it
Well,
bad
yeah,
enough.
of
Where like,
course.
yeah, that's all I'm saying.
No,
that's
no,
all I'm
no,
saying.
no, but
you're
you're
I thought you were
saying
saying if he was like super attractive.
right.
Oh no, I'm
Jason-
talking about
Jason
like
Momoa is
like
not gonna go and just
Right.
find a random.
yeah, no,
girl.
but I'm just saying, given the right, like if you're
Target.
shipwrecked, if you're like, Aquaman, if he's shipwrecked and, with some ugly
I'll take care
chick,
of this. No, my man. See,
Yeah.
Jason Momoa's ugly is different from our ugly. When he goes down, he's still banging supermodels. It's just not, who's he with now? Zoe Kravitz or it's her mom. Her mom is hot too. I'm so bad from not remembering this. From a different world.
it's from we know who she is. I can't remember her name right now. Thandie Newton's twin, doppelganger. Keep going.
Yeah,
Who is-
anyway.
wait, I gotta look up Cantrell. What?
I keep wanting to say Cree Summer, but I know that's not her.
No, just keep going. Say what you were going to say.
Yeah. Anyways, when he goes down, his
said.
down like he's
Thandie
he's
Newton.
dating 11s. So when he
Yeah,
goes
but I'm
down,
just saying, okay, say it's like Castaway, right? And he's on an island for years and years with some ugly, lady. He'd give in.
Yeah, of
You know,
course.
she can have them.
No,
That's all I'm saying.
no,
That's
no,
all I'm
no,
saying.
no,
I'm not saying it's a normal thing. I'm not saying that it's like your everyday situation.
Who's the woman?
I'm
Who's
just,
the woman that you're on the island with?
Because Tom Hanks was fucking.
I don't know.
Hollywood.
Somebody
Yeah,
that just like.
exactly. So I just don't know. I think it's Lisa Bonet. Oh,
Lisa Bonet, yeah.
forgive me.
Yeah, man.
Forgive me, Bill Cosby.
He was missing Lisa.
All right, I'm sorry. I missed all that you were saying. You were saying that girls can get guys even if they're ugly, right?
Yeah.
You don't think so?
Not a high quality guy. He
I
said
guess.
like someone like me. If yeah, I mean, I'd bang her, but I gotta give her. It's the difference between me and Jason Momoa. Like Jason Momoa is not looking through any cracks in the door. He walks outside and be like, well, she left me, and then there's gonna be like a flock of women coming up to him.
Yeah, but if he wasn't in that situation, let's say he goes to small town. Let's say he goes to where I'm from, and there's like
He can
He's
get
not
the
messing
best
with those
hillbilly out
hillbillies
there,
out there.
guaranteed.
The mountain.
You might have a point because he was Aquaman in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of nobodies, and he was single because he didn't have anybody out there.
But I bet he had the best fish in the ocean. Guaranteed. That's my point. Like he can still ask for the top.
And she's only 5'2".
Yeah, she's short. Man,
A
she
lot of
was
famous people were short.
on a different world. She was the best looking one. Whitley never liked her, and I seen her the other day. Horrible. She aged like the crypt keeper. She looks horrible.
I thought she was a crypt keeper.
Not Jadakiss. Jada Pinkett. I mean, for a while she was.
She was
yeah.
top notch.
But then,
Have you seen her recently, man?
Yeah, I don't like
It's
her.
all the plastic surgery. Her personality makes her like it's a big turn off.
Yeah.
Like you completely overlook.
God.
the
She
physical.
should have stayed in the Matrix.
All right.
All right, so we got it. The Flash is gangster. That was a good
54?
topic. The Flash.
Flash is gangster. That's dope though. I don't know.
I don't want to say, I want to see him back it up
If he
before I
does
say
it,
anything.
do you want to see him
like,
back it up?
I was
though?
just saying, like, I can go around talking shit. I mean, that doesn't mean I'm gangster. I mean, like,
He said it in a knowing way, like he said it like Royce. When Royce was like back in the day, I'd be like, what did he say? Like Royce.
When I was younger, I'd be like, I'll kill you.
I kill you. He's like, now I'm like, I kill you, right?
God, Control just like a bum. You throw a good suit on Control on that body, guaranteed. What a waste. If I was shaped like Control, I would wear suits every day.
Like Barney Stinson.
Exactly. Barney Stinson.
Is that How I Met Your Mother?
yeah.
Oh, he doesn't get the reference. God, funny as shit.
Didn't they do How I Met Your Father?
They're gonna do it.
I think it's already out.
Oh, it's gonna be horrible.
Dude, I think How I Met Your Mother was too long. Like, yeah, I hated the way it ended. I'll die on that hill. Like, I think it was a bunch of trash.
We should talk about bad endings for good shows.
That's a good
Okay,
topic. Add it to
yeah.
the list.
Let's do that today.
Well,
Yeah,
we can start
let's
now,
do that.
but I want
Are
to
we
say
recording
though,
now?
I realized,
recording
we're
now?
recording. I realized, me and Kaden has been watching How I Met Your Mother because I need to finish it. I stopped at a certain point, then I went back and I never finished it. We've been watching it, and I realized a lot of the things Barney Stinson does, you did at a certain point in time.
No.
Yeah. You said
one.
legendary at one point.
I know I just
The
met
other
you,
thing-
but I can see that.
People say stuff like that.
Okay, here's another one.
Did I say legend?
Here's another hit.
Wait for it. Dare you.
I don't get any of these right.
But here's another one though.
I didn't watch.
Here's
the show.
another one. I would always back then in high school and stuff talk about Ri'Yadh, my best friend. I'm going to my best friend's house. I'm going to go play basketball with my best friend, and you would be like, "I'm your best friend too, right?"
Subconsciously, maybe, but it wasn't out then, so I didn't copy.
It was.
You know what the irony of all this is? He's such a ladies' man in there.
Yeah.
That's how I be.
Yeah.
You going to finish your
Oh wait,
sentence?
is that supposed to be a shot at me?
Is he gay in the show?
Yeah, he is.
No,
he's
yeah,
gay.
well,
No, in real
No,
life
in real
he is.
life.
In the show he
He
wasn't.
was in the
But
show.
hey, he was the best player though. Like I don't know any other player who was as smooth as he was.
a lot of his stuff was really bad.
Oh, it was definitely really bad. Like,
I mean, he had a whole playbook. Literally, he had a playbook.
yeah.
Barney Stinson playbook.
You know, he was it. I think I don't know if there was something out there in the world before this, but he invented the whole crazy beautiful scale thing.
No.
You know, like what?
One thing about Doogie, what's his real name? Neil Patrick Harris.
NPH.
He actually wrote a book where you do it yourself. You read it yourself. I mean, not read it yourself, but it's
Write
like,
it yourself.
Yeah. He's like, so what would you do in this situation? Then you write the book, and I'm like, that's genius. He didn't write anything. He's making you write the book.
That
They
sounds
sound
like
something Barney Stinson would do.
that sounds like, but it also sounds like middle school literature class.
Yeah.
Language
It was
arts
genius.
class.
Let's see, if I saw something like that, I'd get offended because I don't like doing work for other people. I don't even like doing my own work, let
It's a New
alone
York
like,
Times bestseller.
nah. Well, I mean, I'm not doubting that. I'm taking your word for that, but I can't see that.
One thing you can learn about me is you should take my word on everything I say. It's all facts. Do not Google it.
Definitely double check on that.
Yeah, no, I've watched the podcast enough to know that was just BS.
I keep forgetting people actually watch this.
Yeah.
You guys didn't get that anti-Semitic thing I said earlier, did you?
About when we were talking about the Jewish stuff?
Relax.
Speaking of Jews, so
Okay.
the other
Can we
day,
even say Jews?
Yeah.
Like, we can
yeah.
say whatever we want.
it's like saying the blacks. The other,
Can we say the blacks?
so I don't know if it was last week or like earlier this week, but like
She's
So-
on suspension now, so it was like 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
well, I
was
guess when this comes out, it'd be 3 weeks ago.
I guess, but Whoopsie Goldberg.
Whoopsie.
says-
Whoopsie.
She went on the View saying, I think she essentially was saying that I guess you can't distinguish or what happened in the Holocaust wasn't racist. I think is what she was saying.
She said
And
it
then
wasn't based off of race because Jewish isn't a race.
Kind of, yeah.
Right. I mean, she was being literal about it.
Yeah.
And I think she was only doing that to like back up from what.
I think she kind of made it bad too when she
She
tried
did.
to explain when she was like,
Right, she should've just
she was like, when I see a Jewish, I think she said like when I see a Jewish person and a white person,
I can't differentiate.
yeah, they're the same thing.
Yeah, it's just she kept digging. As a black woman on television, she could have easily been like, "Y'all know what? My bad, y'all. Never mind." Forget it. And they were like, "Yeah, all right." But she's Whoopi Goldberg, man.
Do you have a video up for that? But
I think they actually took it down. She had
no,
it.
there's a bunch of videos. Just go to YouTube or something and just type it in. Whoopsie Goldberg says.
I want you in post. I want you to put the little Mortal Kombat guy pop up in the corner of the screen.
Adam, you should know about this, right? Jewish.
What? Oh, you're Jewish?
No, I'm circumcised.
Wash, are you circumcised?
Are you? I was gonna ask. Are you circumcised?
Me?
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
the perfect penis. I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah,
The skin to length ratio is perfect.
What about the episode we were talking about astronomy? You said you had like a spaghetti noodle or something.
Never said that. No, I never said
It's not
that.
like it's on
The
film.
guy behind the green curtain said that. I never said that.
But yeah, so I was asking because like it's apparently
Are you circumcised?
yeah, I'm circumcised.
Is Caden circumcised?
Yeah, we came out the womb circumcised.
He's asking about his son. Anyway,
Well, in the Bible,
He dreams about
in,
children.
in the Bible, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Isaiah circumcised his fourth child in order to use the skin as sacrifice so that his village wouldn't be destroyed by God.
I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, Mr. PhD in religiology.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Is that
I,
true, Trell? I mean, that's
No, that's not.
yeah.
No, it's not.
Well, I'm trying to be diplomatic.
It's a little bit more
I
than
don't
that.
want to just come out and say, I don't know where the hell you got that, but it wasn't the Bible.
As soon as you started going, I was like, yeah, he's going the wrong direction.
Yeah, no, Abraham circumcised his kids because Yahweh told him to do it, right? And so that's why Jews and Muslims get circumcised, and then Christians, they just kind of got real loose about it. They're like, you can do it or not.
Yeah,
No,
because
they got the opposite of loose. That was
Yeah.
the whole purpose of it.
No,
I see
kind
what you-
of stepped on my joke, but whatever.
the whole point of it is to separate themselves from the other people, to set themselves apart. You got the video watch? Is this Fox News?
Where are you getting your sources from? So is she suspended or fired?
She just
You can't
got-
fire with
How do you? Why not fire her though? Like if you're going to
Because
suspend her for something
You know
like
what
that,
I'm going to say.
go ahead, say.
I'm not going to say it.
Say
But
it.
you know what I'm going to
Say
say.
it.
Eye to eye.
They need her?
She's Whoopi Goldberg.
Is that a video watch?
That's a EGOT winner, right? Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and
The
Tony.
only black female to do it in the history of the world.
I don't think they're gonna show it. Watch, just go to YouTube and type in Whoopsie Goldberg, Jewish or something.
Look at this ad over here on the bottom right. Protect yourself against
Watch.
shingles. This guy's guts are hanging out. Hey, it's happened to me. Get the vaccine.
That's all I don't look at.
Is that what it's
vaccines.
about? The
That's
vaccine?
exactly
How old
what
do you
that's
have to
about.
be before you get paranoid about shingles?
I don't know.
If you're
Kyle's a
neurotic like me, I'm
hypochondriac.
always paranoid about everything.
Because I'm like, I got chicken pox. I was before the vaccine or whatever. So like, I know that's something I'm going to have to deal
Chickenpox
with.
isn't a
but,
thing
like-
anymore, though, right? I mean,
It is.
I think they have a
completely
vaccine
eradicated.
for it.
No, it's completely eradicated. No, it can't. No one else can get it.
I feel like
No,
someone
people still get
has.
chicken.
Personally, I feel like kids are missing out on a rite of passage. I mean, like,
Who have you seen with chicken pox?
I had chicken pox.
One.
Yeah, when you was like 11.
No, when I was like, well, earlier than that, but still.
Okay, we've
We're
all
talking
had chicken
about,
pox.
like
We're talking
kinda-
about now.
Oh yeah, I've still known people who.
yeah,
had
like my
chicken pox
nieces
in
and
recent
nephews have
years.
never gotten chicken pox.
Who do you know? That's what I'm saying. Who do you know that has
I've
got
had
chicken
cousins when they were like 7 or 8 had chicken pox. And
Are they the
How
same
old are
age as
your
you?
cousins?
No. They're
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna say like 10 or 12 now, but this was.
pox? So
like,
you mean you know somebody
4 or 5
3 years
ago.
ago who got chicken pox?
Yeah,
And what they do with them? They quarantine them?
they just stay in your room. Stay in your room. They do the whole Epsom salt bath and all that stuff.
They weren't
I
vaccinated.
thought certain illnesses
Yeah.
or diseases like that were done.
Like your kids won't be able to get it. Like our kids, once you've been
Probably
vaccinated.
not. I mean that doesn't.
that's
mean,
how they work.
But we're like.
So there has to be like a
reaching
certain amount of people that get it for like everybody to kind of be
Exactly.
immune to it.
Yeah.
You know,
Or the vaccination, it eradicates it. Like you can't pass it down.
I thought the vaccination for chickenpox gives you chickenpox or something like that, or it helps you get it.
No, not
before-
all vaccinations do that. Really, the only one I know is the flu shot. Like COVID vaccinations, it's like a synthetic COVID. It makes you feel it,
Yeah.
so it tricks your body into thinking that you have it, so that it fights, but it doesn't give you COVID.
Oh, she got the video yet?
We're good, Wash. We're good on this. She's
Every
suspended for 2
time I
weeks.
see Whoopi, she looks completely different.
What did you type in? Did you type in Whoopi Goldberg?
Just don't, because we're gonna end up watching Ghost. So just we're good.
It's that first one.
Snake bite
Good Morning
videos
America.
or NBA fights.
Yeah, we're gonna be. Yeah.
Every time I get on YouTube, that's what I end up on.
Is that George Lopez?
This is it. Now it's gonna go into what she said.
Oh, George Lopez in the news.
Oh.
Did you not hear about him?
No, I want to in a second though. Hold on.
To race.
It's not about race. It's not about race.
What is it about?
Because it's about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about. Whoopi Goldberg.
Goldberg appearing to double down on the Colbert Show that night.
The American experience tends to be based on skin.
Yes. And so that is what race means to me. When you talk about being a racist, I was saying you can't call this racism. This was evil. This wasn't based on the skin. You couldn't tell who was Jewish. They had to delve deeply to figure it out.
Then tweeting an apology saying in part, the Jewish people around the world have always had my support and that will never waver. I'm sorry for the hurt I have caused. And the next day, opening The View with this.
I said that the Holocaust wasn't about race, and it was instead about man's inhumanity to man. But it is indeed about race, because Hitler and the Nazis considered Jews to be an inferior race. Now, words matter, and mine are no exception. I regret my comments, as I said, and I stand corrected. I also stand with the Jewish people, as they know, and y'all know, because I've always done that.
So one thing I just want to say about her is that I give her respect for saying that I was wrong and I made a mistake, and then saying I was corrected. Some people try to stand on the like they die on a hill that they know is wrong. So for her to come back and say, I messed up, that was my bad, I respect that. But I do kind of wonder, was that really how she felt, or was it just like, I'm losing money right now, I'm not being on
No,
the show?
I feel like she was trying to say what she said, but people didn't take it the way that she wanted them to.
But do you think she believes what she said, or does she realize?
Initially she doubled down. Going on Colbert that night, she
But she
doubled
said
down on her
she doubled down.
stance.
She said the same thing
Then
because
she
she
came
believed
back on The View and said, all right, this is what happened. This
Yeah.
is why I said this is why I went back on Colbert and said this. Like, there's some truth to it. I believe that, but if this offended you in this way, this is why this offended you, and I apologize for that.
Well, she's saying it's based on race, but during the Holocaust,
No,
they
she was saying
literally
it wasn't based on race.
Oh, you're right. She's saying that race is the color of your skin, but during the Holocaust, they were literally driving around, questioning these, trying to figure out who was Jewish or not, because that's all they could do is question them.
Yeah.
You know, did you have hummus? You know,
That's like saying
because you couldn't tell them apart.
If they're like, all right, slavery was, never mind, forget it.
You know, one thing I don't understand about Hitler, he said the perfect race was blonde hair and blue eyes.
Yeah.
A very small amount of the world has blonde hair and blue eyes. Hitler didn't have blonde hair and blue eyes.
The funny thing is that one of the groups of people who tried to kill Hitler had blonde hair, blue eyes. The Russians.
That's true. You know the thing about Hitler? He did all of that, and no one ever killed him.
He killed himself. He went out on his own time. Hey,
What a puss.
he didn't go out like Scarface. you got to go out like Scarface, right? So if you look at that,
Say hello to my little friend.
you look at the whole story of Scarface, right? The way how he went out, the empire he built and everything, right? And then he goes out, oh, Scarface gangster, the way he went out. But then you look at Hitler, he killed millions of people. But he killed himself and they say, oh, he a little punk.
Alexander the Great took over many countries, and he died from malaria.
Julius Caesar died
Diarrhea.
from...
Death from diarrhea. He diarrheaed himself to death. There was nothing left. It was like the shingles. It's just all just started covered up.
But then, like Genghis Khan, he took over a bunch of places. He
like half the world.
yeah, he just
Missionary style.
yeah, it just like died. You know, I think he was partying and like threw up in his mouth and drowned on it while
They
he was
didn't know,
asleep.
but he definitely died from AIDS.
I was going to say, didn't Julius Caesar die from...
He was assassinated.
How? In what way?
He walked into the Senate on the 15th of March, and basically everybody took turns stabbing him. Because they wanted to make sure that everybody got, like, you know, they could take credit for it. So,
Jon Snow stuff.
yeah.
Y'all want to talk about the craziest deaths?
God.
Muhammad Ali. Malcolm X. You hear that story when he was
Get your hand on my pocket.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah. You think that was a setup?
Yeah, definitely. Because if somebody goes into a black man's pocket, you're not going to say, get your hand out my pocket.
Out loud like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
not
going to
like
swing on him.
Who else died crazy? Liberace? Am I saying that right? Yeah, Liberace.
I thought he died.
I think Liberace just
Auto-
died of
auto-
AIDS or something.
No, somebody.
like
No, you
that.
think about Freddie Mercury.
No. Liberace died of AIDS.
Yeah.
Really? I thought he was like walking on to go check his mailbox, and then the mail driver shot him on his porch. And he he had like these big Scarface stairs.
The bills went everywhere.
Italian music playing in slow motion. Yeah.
So my favorite way, if I die, I want to die like this. You know, not when I die, if I die. But you guys hear about Gregory Rasputin, how he died?
No.
Okay, so he was like during World War I, he was like really good friends with the King and Queen of Russia, and pissed a lot of people off. They wanted to take him out because they didn't like him having influence over the king. So they tried to poison him, and he didn't die. So they tried to shoot him, and he didn't die. And then they stabbed him, and he didn't die. And all this is happening at the same time. It was like not over a period of days. This is one night. And then they eventually beat him down, throw him into a frozen river, and he ended up dying because like he eventually drowned or something like that after being shot, beat, stabbed, poisoned.
What if he just like caught a cold or something? From being
From exhaustion and just being tortured for so long. It's like none of this stuff works. He didn't get enough sleep while he was being tortured.
Who's the other guy? David Carradine? He auto asphyxiated himself
I
to
knew
death.
that was coming. Autoerotic asphyxiation. Why can you not say that?
Auto asphyxiation.
Auto asphyxiation himself.
That's the way to go out, though.
So, you know,
Belt around his neck.
So you guys ever tried that?
No.
I have not.
I mean, I was just wondering if you guys.
You asked her like you did.
It's one of those things. Like, remember earlier we were talking about how you don't play Skyrim because you just know when you look at it you're gonna spend all your life. If I ever figure out how to do that and I figure out the right way, I never leave the house.
probably like with smoking crack too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You hear about the science behind it and how it affects your brain and like the
Yeah, I'm not above crack.
And it's like, I don't want to smoke crack though, but I bet it's a good time.
Right, exactly. Because it's one of those things like, you got to invest so much into it.
Yeah.
Money.
So much money, so much time.
And I would be a bad crackhead.
my skin
Like,
off.
you know, crackheads are like...
I don't like having sex with
Crackheads are like herpes.
You gotta suck dick.
Yeah, you have to. Crackheads are like herpes because when you Google herpes, they show you the worst images. But like herpes in real life, it's like, you know, you get a little scratch here and there.
There are people who smoke crack like and function.
Right, every day.
You know, people who's all around you.
You would never know. But
Same
I would be
thing.
one of those
People still
crackheads.
smoke crack like to this day.
Yeah. People microdose
Where did they get it
LSD
from?
and stuff too.
Who's selling crack?
So where they get it from?
Somebody that I know. I won't say who it
It's
is.
just weed and like fentanyl now, but people are smoking
Smokes crack
rock.
cocaine, like
You
crack
said that like
rock.
4 times now.
Yeah, it blows your mind because it's like, where do you get it? Ronald Reagan was issuing crack into the neighborhoods. So where are you getting crack from now?
The same way you getting cocaine.
It's not the same.
Colombians.
It's not coming from jungles and shit.
Well, of course, but I mean, like,
It's coming from baking soda.
What? No, I mean, like, it's still like the same product. You just
Is it still in
it's crack
Harlem?
form.
Is it still people saying?
No, Harlem. Have you been? Harlem is gentrified. It's like Harlem is like
This was in Harlem
Starbucks.
like 3 years ago, right?
Yeah,
I'm talking about like
we were there.
you see
121st.
people
some
selling
crack in
crack in
Harlem.
like Watts or something.
No,
It's like, where is this crack coming from?
Hey,
'Cause
who's getting it in bulk to sell
and
it?
making it.
Dude, I'm telling you, the same place you
Is
getting
somebody
cocaine.
getting off of TikTok and they're like,
You know
well,
where
it's
cocaine comes
2022.
from?
I'm about to go.
You go to like an office. You go to an office building. It's like, hey, you guys want to party? And then it's like, yeah. And then they park like this
but
elegant
the whole
case.
point is, where did they get it from?
The coke?
Yeah,
Coke is everywhere.
where you get it from though.
Colombia.
So where do you get the crack from?
Crack is
I imagine
a byproduct.
crack. Yeah,
You have to mix that.
That's
in.
what I'm saying. Like you're saying like where do you get
who's going to the store buying baking soda and peroxide and sitting over a stove cooking
people who
crack?
got crack fiends to feed?
But where are the crack?
Yeah, I mean, at
fiends
this point, it's your
The ones
business,
that
and
we're
you're
talking
gonna,
about.
you got to do what you got to do.
They're coming from Myrtle Beach.
I mean, what you're saying is like you're saying like who eats sandwiches anymore? But they still have bread out there. Like you can still make a sandwich with the bread. That's what
It
it is.
doesn't mean anything, but it's like who is buying bread to make sandwiches?
The people who want to buy sandwiches.
Exactly. It's like how are these people like who told them, hey, have you ever tried a sandwich? That's like saying, hey, have you ever tried to auto asphyxiate yourself?
Now what happens is you
People
start
aren't doing it anymore.
cocaine.
They're doing it in the metaverse now.
Oh, speaking of metaverse, did you hear that this lady said that she was, I think, gang raped in the metaverse, and
Already Karen's in the metaverse. We can't have nothing. We ain't safe nowhere.
I take exception to that. You know, like I don't feel like you can be virtually raped.
I think they said they was pressing the buttons like vigorously, like kept sending.
they was spamming A.
Yeah, and I think that I don't know penetration. I don't even know how to
Yikes.
with the keyboard.
This is what our world's coming to.
That's
virtual rape.
That's a true keyboard.
We already have
warrior.
virtual bullying. I thought that was hilarious when I first seen it. It's like, turn this computer off.
Yeah, I see.
Just log out.
Yeah, it's not for the computer.
Block
for me.
them to get.
I
No,
understand.
you know what? We can't make light of that. We can't joke about it. 'Cause it's-
I am.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. It's like I get that there are people and kids out there, especially who take exception to what people say to them online or in person, and then
I
they,
curse little kids out online
they,
all the time.
they kill themselves or whatever. But like, as a
Hitler did
parent
it.
or as an adult, you gotta just be like, you gotta show. Like my son will probably never cry over something somebody says on the internet because the way I raise him.
I hope
Hate
not,
it.
because I've heard you guys talking to him while we were eating a few minutes ago. Like if he
I make
cried
kids-
over
Oh,
what
and he
people
immediately
like,
made the room and cried. Caden is a kid that literally cries over spoiled milk.
You lie. No. You know, Caden would talk junk back to you.
now
see, I was
he will.
expecting
But
him
he's
like.
not good about it.
Now
like,
he will.
Like we
don't
dropped
have the
bombs
jokes.
on him, and he was like,
Well, see, that's your fault for not teaching him how to think through it. Like, hey, man, you're eating that; it's all going to your forehead. It's not what your mama said. You know, it was like,
Caden doesn't want to talk about mama. Trust me.
Oh, you can't do that.
Oh shoot. Just edit it out. Let me go ahead and hit this vape because this sex is not going to be.
Oh man, what a waste! What a waste! Damn,
I got a little too comfortable.
Hey, I said if Ri'Yadh gets in his bag, it's gonna be good. Took a little too deep right there, brother.
All right, my bad. Hey, my bad.
Hey, you draw the line.
Oh, I'm breaking a sweat over here.
Y'all ready for a break?
All right.
Let's take a break. We get wild.
Dang, my bad.
There's got to be a way to keep that in there.
I'm keeping that in.
He gonna be on child support next week. Let's do that first. Then.
Yeah.
Are we
Is that
recording?
cool? Sure.
Yeah, you're recording. Watch.
What is it when
middle
it's
one, too?
like classified documents when things are like blacked out, blacklisted or whatever?
Redacted.
Redacted. So there's so much that's redacted.
I'm sorry.
When teaching history, because think about what we learned in school in the basic course of study. Like they tell you so much, but now that we're out of school and we have the means of finding out this information, we're like, well, they taught us this and it was completely wrong. Think about how much stuff was hidden from us that they don't want to say. Like Martin Luther King being assassinated, and really he survived. I mean, he was recovering, and they came in and killed him. Like that's.
I think you're thinking about Tupac.
No, Kyle, don't do that. Tupac.
You don't want me to do that?
Tupac is still alive.
Let me tell you something about Malcolm X.
I'm talking about MLK. Like he was alive, and
I know. I'm just
documented-
joking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like nurses saying, like, yeah, he was fine. He was recovering and everything.
Someone
And
came in and
they
smuggled
came
him.
in and they choked him and they spit on him and all this stuff. And
Yeah.
it's like they don't teach you that, and they're not going to teach you that because the powers that be are like, they don't need to know about this. We're not going to put this out there because it makes us look bad as people.
And by the way, we're talking about critical race theory being taught in schools.
So that's what I was saying. Is like the good thing about it is like, for example, people don't even know, like Central Park. Central Park, before it was a park, it was like apartment complexes and stuff for a black neighborhood, if you will. It was like a hub for black people, but then they just completely tore it down and glazed it over.
Right. So do you think that they don't want to teach it because of guilt?
No, I'm saying that's something that you should teach. You should teach information like that. What I'm saying is sometimes the way it's taught, and I think, like I said, I don't remember, but I think like it can promote this kind of like let's hate all white people because of how they treat us in the past, and I don't think that's how we should. That's not how we progress.
I don't think that's the intention of critical race theory.
I don't think so
it's
either.
it was started by a couple of law scholars who were basically just like the way that the American system is set up is just, it's kind of like, when you're playing in a casino, the house always wins. Well, in America, white people are the house. So that's kind of the idea of critical race theory.
Yeah, what's the
a lot of white people don't like, and I'm saying this based on people that have talked to me and stuff. I've had debates with my friends about this because I actually support critical race theory. But they basically get to the whole like us versus them thing, and they get uncomfortable with that, even if it's not necessarily trying to say that. But I think a lot of people are uncomfortable with the idea of saying, hey, I'm where I'm at because I've benefited from a society that has hurt black people.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, do you think that's why they don't want to teach it? Because it's like, you got to kind of,
That's
admit
all it
to
is. They want to erase it. They want to just negate it and push it away like it never
Yeah,
happened.
that's-
Because imagine the conversations that white parents are having with their children when they come home. They're like, Mom, were there slaves? Did our ancestors do
Right.
this?
They don't
And
wanna
they're like,
talk
no,
about
not
it.
us.
And
not
they say,
us."
oh, it wasn't us. And it's not irrelevant anymore.
Yeah.
But it is.
They're going to keep pushing it further.
Yeah,
and
well, a
further
part of
until-
my research I'm doing for my PhD, I'm covering a bunch of different stuff like this. And so it's really interesting to see how black people and white people view things like that differently. So most black people say that slavery, the history of slavery still affects the United States. Most white people say that it doesn't. And that's from various people that, professional pollers and stuff like that have figured that out.
Right.
And it's, to me, it just makes sense that the history of slavery still affects the country.
Absolutely.
But I guess I don't know if people just don't understand it or if they don't want to understand it.
A lot of people don't want to hear that that you benefit from something
That this
bad that
country
happened,
was
or like
built on slavery.
like I think we talked about this. Or like some effects from slavery still put black people in a bad spot, but at the same time, we're in a time where even though you're in a bad spot, you can find your way out of it.
That's true.
And I'm like critical race theory. I mean, everything that you're teaching, I just think history should be fully taught.
Yeah,
So like
critical race theory, I just want to throw this out. Critical race theory would say it would be easier for me to get out of poverty than it would for any of you guys.
Right.
Just because the system's set up to benefit white people.
Right. So I look at my job. We had a meeting the other day, and we're sitting in the meeting. The people who are doing the meeting, the supervisors and managers, 3 white guys. They're talking to 20 black guys. We're all drivers, and I mean, I almost wanted to walk out because it's like, do you guys not see this? So in other words, you're saying, why are none of us in that spot, and why are none of you guys doing this job? Because it's not, black people don't wake up in the morning and say, hey, I think I want to go do the grout work, go out here and slave for 15 hours a day when I could be sitting in the office watching ESPN, eating donuts all day.
Yeah,
like,
and what you're talking about, like, I assume you guys have heard about, like, Brian Flores suing the NFL, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, that's pretty much the same thing. Like, 85% of the NFL players are black. There's one black NFL coach.
Why is it?
And
It's like,
and the owners, there's no black NFL owners.
which is, I mean, I think Nick Wright even brought it up on his show. He was pretty much saying the same thing you just said. It's like in a culture, in a sport where the culture is kind of dominated by black people, how come when it comes to the more cerebral positions and the most cerebral,
That's my point. So what does that tell you? So do you say, well, maybe because black people aren't smart enough to do that job, or white people aren't athletic enough to do this job? Like, what does that say to people who are watching?
yeah, I think on like if you're looking at just like regular people, I think there's a lot of that thought process. I mean, I grew up just, I thought that black people were just naturally more athletic than me. Just
And
because I saw so many black athletes or whatever.
Right.
I never thought black people were like less smart than me or anything like that. But I do know people and have heard of people that think that.
Who
and
believe that.
Yeah. And
Who was the guy
obviously
who
that's
had the
crazy.
skull?
But
He had the skull, the slave
yeah.
skull, and then he had the white man skull, and he's breaking it. He's like, you see this? The black people, they don't have this part, and the white people have this, or black people have this, and they're like this stuff is.
That sounds good, but I want to say that you're thinking about
No. You're thinking about
movie, Jenga.
no. That was
there used to be a theory. I've heard what you're talking about, like that they would basically like measure people's skulls and try to basically prove that black people and basically any race that wasn't white didn't have the same brain power that we did. Even though like,
it was a way to dehumanize them to say that they weren't human, to where you can treat them as property. And
right, or
animals.
what it was that we don't feel the same thing, so you can whip them.
Yeah,
because we don't have the the same receptors to feel those things, but.
Yeah,
I saw
and
something recently with that when they were talking about pain medicine, where they're like, black people's pain tolerance was higher, so they wouldn't prescribe certain pain medicine the same as a Caucasian person.
What is this? Tuskegee experiments?
Nah, I want to say this was more recent where they found that out, and like the doctors and nurses, everyone, like the entire staff was like, all right, we're not going to give.
And it's
them
okay
this.
for people to understand these things, and it doesn't hurt the kids. I was I went to the game today, and I'm just looking at these kids, and it's like they don't know the difference between a black person and a white person. We're all adults. They're looking at us like
racism is taught.
It's taught, and you can tell the difference. Like some kids may be a little standoffish because they don't understand. There's some kids, if you're a white kid and your sitter is Jamaican or something, they're used to being around that atmosphere.
You're
it's all taught.
What's his name? Castaway, his son, Chet.
I don't remember.
Anyway,
that guy's a clown. Don't even.
Tom
Whatever
Hanks.
you're about to say.
Chet Hanks. Yeah, he's
his in real life.
His patois.
Wait, there's 2 of them though. One of them's cool.
Chet is the one that he speaks patois, like the accent.
Yeah, but the other one, the guy who does the shows, his other son's an actor.
What I was trying to say was that I think, like with critical race theory, I just think like I just have a problem with the way that, like, right now, the way history is taught is not completely open. It's not completely transparent. And I don't want it to shift the other way where it's like, let's teach, I guess critical race theory is what it is, but I don't want it to shift the other way where it's like, let's make bad white people all look bad either. And I just want it to be completely open and objective to where, all right, these are historic facts. This is what white people did. This is what black people did. This is who they are, where they're from, what they did, and all this stuff. I want it to be completely open and transparent. But I just feel like some way, just like it is right now, where it's, everybody thinks that, white quarterbacks are better because they're smart or whatever. Like,
and we grew up believing that.
Right. I just don't want it to flip the other way either, where they're going to be like, black people are better because of blah, blah, blah. I don't want black people to be villainized, and I don't want white people to be villainized.
I feel that, but at the same time, you've got to...
You can't fix it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I feel, okay, so it took us 400 years to, like, do all of that, right? I mean, like, to where we're at now. Mm-hmm. So we've got to start the healing process, and I think that starts with honestly talking about things. Mm-hmm. Like, my ancestors benefited from harming your ancestors. And it's like, that sucks. That's embarrassing. But it's like, we can't learn to live together in a society unless we address that.
And it does go both ways, because I think at our age, a lot of black people may blame white people now, and they have nothing to do with it. And a lot of white people may feel guilty because they may feel like, they call it white guilt, because they feel like they do have something to do with it, when the truth is we don't. We're just products of it. So we need to heal with our
I do feel like some white people, too, will be upset at black people because they are being put in this position where, like, black people like, you should feel guilty, and now white people
that's not fair, though.
Yeah, I know. So both sides are not fair. Like, some black people will get this information and be like, oh, you should feel guilty. Right. And then the white people who are like, I shouldn't feel guilty, I didn't do that, and then they retaliate too. Right. And like those two and the parties are the parties I don't
start off right.
Yeah, those two parties I do not agree with.
Right.
And I feel like that can become a problem, which even now it's a problem. And I just don't think there's any. I mean, we can try our best, which is what I want to do, but I don't think there's
a lot of people are very ignorant, man. A lot of people are
just act like it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
And you try to tell them, how you just said, a lot of people don't think like that.
Just like the guy I was talking to on TikTok, like it's I almost feel bad for him, because it's like. He's like, go back to your country. I'm like, Africa's not a country, and just because I'm black doesn't mean I'm from Africa. I don't know anything
you guys.
You guys. Like, are you people? So in my mind, I'm like, are you trying to purposely offend me, or do you really just not know these? He's like, do you speak African? I'm like, I don't think
there's
African
a bunch
is
of stupid
language.
People like that who just want to make America great again, and revert back to
See, it's crazy because they're not willing to like pack up and go back to England.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, you guys got to go to Africa, but we get to stay here. We don't have to go back to Europe.
I've never thought about that, but you're right.
There was somebody here. Okay, so my ancestors, they came over in 1607, 1608. And so, they landed in Virginia. The Pamunkey Indians owned the land that they were on. That's what they're called. It's like
two in a row.
What's it called?
Pamunkey Indians. Pamunkey Indians. Yeah. So they own that place, and then my ancestors and the people they were with, they took it away from them. They went to war. It's called the Pt1 War, and they took the land from those Indians, and so it's like
there's a term for that too. It's called colonizer. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just saying all that to say is like, people's got to like recognize, that doesn't mean anything about me personally, but it does. I feel like, you always hear like, you got to know where you come from if you want to know where you're going, that sort of thing. I believe in that big time.
Definitely. I think like too, it's like sometimes you have to afford people grace, because you have to understand too, like at the time you're coming over to a new place. And the way the world worked at that time was imperialism was a thing. Like, we have to own more than everyone else for us to grow. Like, that's why you had the Roman Empire. That's why you had the UK.
It's still like that now. Look at Putin. He wants to own everything.
Of course. I mean, now we're trying to do it in a digital age, so we can't like just take people's land and call it a day. I mean, China's still doing that. But I mean, don't cancel me for saying that. But
they're doing it in a digital way too. They're
they are
limiting all of our money. Yeah,
they're overstepping boundaries. I mean, we can get into that if y'all want to, but that's a long conversation.
that's a war that we're gonna lose eventually.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine when we lose that war against China?
It's almost guerrilla warfare. I mean, they're taking us out from the inside out. It's
not even
genius. You have to give them credit.
It's like this. I feel like they've infiltrated us.
They have,
but also they have us surrounded. So you're losing from the inside.
It's like
and
1 to
from
4,
the outside.
like Americans. And then if we do go to war, black people ain't fighting with y'all. Y'all know that, right? We ain't fighting. We ain't fighting no wars. As a matter of fact.
Yeah, well, here's my thing. Like, I'm 36, right? I think the oldest that they're allowed to draft people is 35. I don't care if we go to war or not. I mean, that's what I mean, I think so. If I'm wrong, then I care. But is what?
Just say it.
I thought it was 28.
It's 34.
34? Either way, it doesn't matter. I can't get drafted, so I don't care. You know, you guys, good luck.
And what
you
know,
the firstborn son doesn't go either. So
I'm the firstborn son as well.
I'm a single parent, so.
I'm back. I'm back. You already know.
I love that excuse. He always just when the other one reads like
he's been saying that since we were 6.
My heart. I mean, tell you this funny story. We was at a basketball court. Right? I think somebody called a foul or something, so the ball was just like rolling on the ground. And at the time, Ri'Yadh was having back issues. I think you had right before your surgery or something.
Yeah, I had a herniated disc and a ruptured nerve.
The L5 or the L4?
Yeah,
L5.
It was bad. I mean, he went to a bunch of.
Was it like an injury, or you just into bigger women?
That too. No, but I hurt myself working. It was I was lifting something and I hurt my back.
Yeah, and
so it was all done through workers' comp. But anyway,
we were at the basketball court and the ball was like on the ground, and so Ri'Yadh just casually walks over to it, bends over to pick it up, and normally he has his big hand, so he just grabbed the ball one hand. He reached down, put his hand on the ball, and tried to come back up, and just looked over to me and was like.
Hey, if you ever have like nerve pain, like sciatic nerve or a disc that's ruptured or herniated, that pain is like it jolts through.
It will paralyze you. Literally,
I wanted to do it, but I was like, I can't do it. My body like locked up. I could not move.
He was like.
Now, see, if I'm you, I'm thinking about all the times that he's pissed me off in the last little while. What do I need to do to him right now?
What was our next topic? We got way off.
Oh, the next one's even better. Now let's talk about sex education in school.
Oh, okay. What do you have to say?
You can still
when I was in school,
come home with any packets talking about.
I don't think they do that anymore. Because now they don't know how people are going to be having sex anymore. Think about it. Like, men and women don't even have sex anymore.
I didn't even think about what you just. I just
what he's
never
saying
thought about what you just said.
It was simple. It was the bird.
It was simple. Yeah, it's the bird.
Hey, I got a question. I want to tell you something, but I don't know if it can stay, so you can edit this out if it's too much. All right. Okay. I want to tell you guys the sex talk my dad gave me. With some help from our friends at Anheuser-Busch. All right. So he's hitting the Budweiser, and he's like, Adam, do you know what sex is? And I'm like, I kind of have an idea, but not really. He says, okay, when your dick gets hard? Yeah. Okay, well, you take it and you stick it in and out of a woman's pussy, and that's sex.
How old were you?
I'm like 4th grade or something.
I guess he was being practical about it.
That was my sex talk. I was just like, no guidance about anything. Just like
9 years old.
Yeah.
We never got the sex talk
because we didn't have dads.
Oh,
because we're black.
I knew that you were going to say that.
Oh, listen, that's another thing when I was at the game, man. I actually did feel a little bad. Like, normally that doesn't bother me, but like there was this kid beside me watching the game, and his dad comes over. He's like, "Hey, bud, you see what he's doing? Remember how I was teaching that the other day? Now he's doing exactly what I taught you."
I love to see that. That's hard.
And I was like, man,
we didn't get that.
I didn't have any of that growing up, man.
That does one thing. Like growing up, in the neighborhood we grew up in, knowing almost every single one of y'all didn't have a dad at home, but it was kind of sad on my part because I was the only one who had my dad at home, and like he was the one who take me basketball games and like taking me out. We watched football together. We played. I think at the time we were playing Madden game day or NFL game day. Like,
you're just rubbing it in.
Well, I'm just saying, like, all these things that I got from my dad at home is the things that y'all didn't get.
We didn't go without anything.
Well,
for the record, our mother is an extremely strong, independent black woman, and she did a hell of a job raising us.
She did.
Our father, you want to chime in?
And your mother will whoop all our asses.
She definitely
but she would definitely put their hands on us.
Everyone knew that. But yeah, we didn't go without anything. Our father didn't do his job, and our mom stepped up.
Yeah, I'm just mean like.
I just now realize you two are brothers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Same mom, same.
Yeah.
Same dad.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's one thing you have on me though. Like you have the same dad.
And you know what's crazy? All jokes aside, but ended up stepping in and being that father figure, and it's sad. I mean, she really had to go out and get the white guy.
She found other ways and avenues so that we weren't lacking that.
And even to this day,
male role model.
I was with him this morning, and now he has kids. Yeah. That's crazy, man. And our dad's still nowhere. Can't even call him. He blocked me because I want to sell him a car. You can't make this up. You can't make it up. But anyways, how we was talking about, where do you get crack from these days? I still get it.
Yeah. Dang it.
Dude, you are having problems with your phone.
Because it's getting a bunch of feedback on all these.
My whole point was that, like, you know, I grew up with my dad in the home, so it's just like realizing that, like, things I would talk about or like experience, I didn't realize going out into the world and spending time with y'all is that y'all didn't get that stuff. So like the way you looked at the world was different from the way I looked at it because of my dad, and so I'm like, I have to like shift the way I think when I'm around you.
So say it, you had to dumb it down.
No, not at all. I'm talking about like the way I perceive women or the way I perceive what a relationship looks like and things like that. It's because I had parents in the house.
Because you was always talking about marriage at a young age.
Yeah.
And we was like, nobody gets married anymore.
It was funny because like, I would talk about like, you know, I would think like love and love at first sight.
That's true.
And then like next thing I know, y'all talking about girls and how big their butt is and stuff.
Yeah, true.
I'm like, that's not what my world is.
No, I don't know if you can blame that on the dad thing or not because I have my dad and I, you know, went around looking at chicks' butts. I mean, like, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm a pig, but.
How did your dad have the sex talk with you?
Yeah.
Me? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Late? I can tell you how I had it with Kaden.
I think you told us.
I think because my philosophy is like when a kid starts asking questions, we need to start giving them answers.
Right.
I hate it when parents are like, "Oh, let's not talk about that," and blah blah blah. Because if you don't answer kids' questions, they're gonna go to somebody else for those answers, and you don't want them to get it from the wrong place.
So back to the topic. Do you think it's okay for a teacher to teach them that?
The thing is, for me, is what I'm saying is like, you have to have that talk at home, and then they can go out because whatever you learn at home should be foundation for how you
absorb things.
Yeah, because like if I say like. I can't think of a good analogy, but if I bring up a topic right now with Caden and we discuss it and talk about it, when he leaves my household, he can go out into the world, and then whatever other people will say to him, he still has a base at home. All right, my dad talked about this, and I understand that that's wrong, or this is right, or I can take a little bit of this, which is good, and a little bit of that that's
So what bad. Age did you have that talk with him?
With Caden, I think it was like 8 or 9.
And what they normally teach it in school? 6th grade?
5th grade.
I think, yeah.
No, because I didn't learn until I was in middle school.
It was definitely elementary. Because at that point,
it was because you go to middle school. That's why.
You're learning from other kids and what they're telling you, so they may tell you, you know.
In elementary,
that's true. All kind, yeah, man, dude. Okay, so here's there's 7 years between me and my youngest brother. So my freshman, sophomore year of high school. So I'm like 14 or 15. Do I need to stop for the time?
Oh,
I just saw you looking at it, man. I just like. I can
actually let's stop and go because you're gonna say something and we have some more stuff to add on that and it's gonna go past the time. All right, let's stop real quick and we're gonna come back in.
Hi, it's Cairo from the Storytellers Podcast. Thank you so much for watching our video. If you want to see more like that, remember you can always go to TikTok or Instagram. And if you want to listen in your car, you can look at Spotify. Hi, It's Cairo from the Storytellers Podcast. If you like what you just saw, if you want to support us to make more content outside of Instagram, at TikTok, Instagram, and if you want to see more content like this, you can. If you want to see more things like that, you can always like, share, subscribe. I'm not doing this on purpose, I promise. Right? Spotify or Apple? Yeah. Okay. Instagram, TikTok, or even on Facebook and MySpace.
All right, go.
Showtime. If you want to support the channel and see more things outside of YouTube, you can always use Patreon. Fuck. Just like, share, and subscribe. All right, Adam, go.
Okay, so we're talking about like, you know, kids in elementary school are learning things from other kids, right? I can absolutely vouch for that. So my youngest brother is 7 years younger than me. My mom had 5 kids in 7 years because she's a crazy person. And she, so anyways, I'm like a sophomore, freshman in high school, 14, 15 years old. And my youngest brother's like 7, right? So back then I watched a lot of crap, like especially American Pie. Like American Pie and American Pie 2 were like 2 of my favorite movies. And so my brother, who I had no idea was involved in any of it, apparently was like watching the movies when he wasn't supposed to be and stuff like that. And we found this out because, you know, me and my sister, who's about my age, are like making sex jokes, and my brother says something about a dildo. And we're like, dude, you're like in first grade. You know, what do you know about a dildo? You don't know what a dildo is. And then he says, yeah, I do. And I'm like, okay, what is it? And he exactly describes what it's for. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, you grabbed one.
No, he didn't go grab one. You know, nothing like that. So that's when I realized that, you know, you can't just go around saying and watching crazy stuff with your little brothers around because they're actually paying attention.
Well, I'll tell you what my introduction to like sex was, but first I just like to say those are not called dildos; they're called lightsabers. But when when I was in 4th grade, I think I was like 9. I think. I was like 8.
Before you go into this story, can I say something?
Go ahead.
The dildo was made by a black man, and he made it
because it's Black History Month, guys.
I want to say he definitely named it after his mom because his mom's either her first name.
Her name was Dildo,
or I believe
Dildo
so.
Daggins.
I believe her name was Dildo, and he made it and he named it after her. Just found that out yesterday.
Yuck! Yeah. That's wrong in so many ways.
Yeah, I mean that's Freudism, right?
Did he get credit for it?
Isn't it?
Did he get credit?
I guess. Freudism? I don't know, dude. When I think of that, I don't think of my mom.
Isn't Freud the one that said like?
Yeah. Freud's like, the Oedipus
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's Freud?
Freud.
Oh, like Sigmund
Freud.
Oh, Sigmund.
Anyway, so when I was in I was going to
Oedipus, man.
What?
Jeez.
It's just
he was a motherfucker.
I'm just saying, dude, like, okay, so in the story, he finds out he does that and he blinds himself.
He blinds himself.
Yeah, I would have freaking just killed myself. I mean, at that point, there's no point being alive anymore. I mean, you've done the worst thing that you can possibly do.
But he knew that he did it, right? Yeah, because he had like this.
No, it was like it was my understanding is like, no, it's like he didn't know it was his mom until like later or whatever.
Old boy.
Yeah, Old Boy.
You ever seen the movie Old Boy?
No.
It's not a movie, it's a book.
I thought that was his
No, I thought it was some kind of slang or something, so I was just moving past it.
I thought that was his daughter.
Old Boy. Well, same premise. The thing is like a man gets locked away for what 20 years or so, and then they just random for no reason. He doesn't know what's going on, and they let him out. And,
no, he was like part of the mafia or something.
Well, I mean, the thing is like you start off not really knowing what's going on, and he's in this room or whatever for 20 years, and then they just randomly release him. He's just like, you just let me out into the world. I don't even know what's going on. And long story short, he goes to all these different things, and he finds a girl he's attracted to or whatever, and then he's up having sex with her. And then like at the end of the story, you kind of find out that was his daughter.
Well, what happened is like he was like a hitman. He killed a bunch of people, and then the guy found the best way to get back at him. Like we had him locked up, and then he ends up setting this girl up. It was a prostitute, but it was his daughter. And you know he ends up making everything match so that they fall in love and everything. and eventually he has sex with her, and then he's like, "Gotcha, bitch."
Yeah, that's
But he didn't blind himself.
Yeah, I don't know. I
He
feel like
actually
tricking him
enjoyed
into
it.
doing
Gave him
that,
money
though,
for
the
the
punishment doesn't fit the crime. Like, okay, killing people's bad, but, tricking somebody into having sex with their daughter's worse.
Right.
I mean, like,
Because it was like, you could have easily killed him. But
Wait. So do we make Hitler have sex with his daughter?
I mean, I don't know, man. I mean,
did
like,
his daughter have blue eyes and blonde hair?
He didn't have any daughter.
Plot twist. What if his daughter was a Jew?
What if his daughter was what's her name? Homelander? From The Boys?
Yeah, I think they made a reference to that, didn't they?
I don't know.
She dated him.
Oh,
She
really?
dated him.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell my story.
oh, yeah, I forgot you were talking.
In fourth grade, it's just really quick. Fourth grade, I'm going to school. This school was actually it used to be a prison. They repurposed it for an elementary school.
I feel like there's a good lesson there. School is really a prison.
Don't ever.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing is I think majority of the staff and majority of the kids were black. I think it was on purpose. But
You think?
But what happened is I was there. In my class we had cubbies, right? So my desk was right here against the wall and against a window, and then you have the little side vent or whatever it's called, the vent for the AC and heat and stuff right beside me. So there's that much of a gap between me and the window, and so the cubbies are behind me. So my desk is here, the cubbies come out like that, and another row of cubbies come out like this. And so what will happen is kids can go into the cubbies, get their stuff, and then come back out. So me being next to the cubbies, I can hear and see everything there because there's about that much gap.
You had the best seat, dude. Like, you knew all the gossip.
Yeah, that's exactly. So what would happen is there was this girl named Alexis, and I don't remember the guy's name, but they would go in there, and they would literally go against the little vent right behind me and just have sex right there. And I'm talking about, no, I lied to you not.
What grade was this?
I was in fourth grade. And
Was Ri'Yadh in your class?
Here's the thing. This is what I'm saying.
It was Alexis.
I was like, do I know what Alexa is? Here's the thing. This is what I'm saying. This is my first experience to sex. I mean, I've heard about it. I've seen the little half naked things on TV, but I haven't seen the full sex thing.
When did you lose your virginity?
When I was 18. But so I'm in class, right? And I see this happen and I get the full experience. My dude was big for a fourth grader. He was huge, and he was going inside. As I'm watching this happen, I'm like, how is that possible? How do you fit that thing inside that little
very
thing?
resilient, man.
But that was my first experience.
I wouldn't know.
You see, they teach you these things, but that's what I was gonna say. When they teach sex ed, they teach all the science behind it. They don't teach like how your dad taught it.
Yeah, I would have rather actually learned about all the other.
But I don't remember any of that. I still can't find the G spot.
Here's my point, though. Here's my point, though.
Because you're not big enough.
My point is that's why when the kids start asking,
G spot?
So what's the G spot? That's why
right after the H spot.
That's why the gangsters stay. So what I'm saying is when the kids start asking you questions, that's when you want to answer their questions, because my experience to sex education was that. And so when my parents started talking to me about this stuff, by the way, they did Alexa days ago.
I hope you didn't say, but Alexia.
Well, I didn't tell them anything. I mean, I don't even know to this day.
My first experiences with, ironically, an American Pie.
No.
Yeah.
I love pie.
Growing up, Rihanna ate a lot of pie.
Dude, I don't know if this is true or if it's urban legend, but I heard this story of this guy that tried to do that. Pie right out of the oven. He sticks it in there and just jacks himself up.
No, the penis is very resilient.
Ri'Yadh said, no.
Grew up eating pie and ice cream.
Yeah.
We never had ice cream in the house.
Ri'Yadh was when you said that, Ri'Yadh was like, how many times did I eat pie? That's what that no was about.
All right, so that's sex and when'd you lose your virginity?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I waited until I got married.
No,
Wife's
man.
choice, not mine.
No.
Oh. And so it
Are
was.
you being serious?
Yeah.
How long have you been married?
Give me a minute.
Jeez.
13 years.
When'd you get married?
14
I
years.
hope she don't watch this
2007.
episode.
So how old were you?
He's 36. He said it was 13.
Yeah, so like
23,
23, 22, 23.
Jeez,
something
he
like that.
still beat me.
To having sex?
Yeah, I was 24, 25.
Were you?
Nigga, you know, you're my whole life. You don't. I mean, you ridiculed me my entire life.
Was it?
You know,
crack teeth?
No, you never forget your first.
Okay.
Depends on how drunk you are.
Dang. Yeah, I
That
guess
was my
so.
first time. That was, I think I was 24.
Wow.
Yeah. I called myself way into a marriage, but then by the time I hit 20, I don't know. I guess when it's just thrown at you.
I mean, at some point when you get as an adult,
When you get to a certain age, reality hits. It's like, yeah.
I mean, well, you get to a certain age where you're like, it's too easy not to do.
Right.
So you have to have self-control.
And that's how it
to
was.
even-
I called myself having discipline, and it was just like, it just got too easy. I mean,
The thing is,
I was
like-
a very good-looking guy growing up, so I literally, they used to call me Batman.
I'll give you that.
What happened?
Batman, why?
Because I used to have to carry around a bat so I can beat the women off me. No, but seriously, it was just at the point
I remember a slightly different day. We won't get into that. I don't know your story.
No, but it just got to the point where it was just I found myself turning down more, and I was like, you know what? If I don't enjoy it, at least I won't feel bad, and that's exactly what happened. It's like I can't believe I waited this long for this stinky, hairy,
Stanky.
It was a horrible experience, and I was like, man, just imagine getting married. Like imagine buying a cow and then finding out you're lactose intolerant.
So you're allergic to vagina?
No.
That's not what he was saying.
I mean, it's cool, man. I mean,
He's saying you
like-
buy the cow and then it's like, you know.
I guess what I said. You buy the cow and
Milk
you're
is
not real crazy
terrible.
about milk. Yeah. Then you see everybody else drinking chocolate milk and.
Oh, I mean, there's more to marriage than just having sex, though.
Well, no,
I mean,
I'm
obviously,
saying
that's
if
an
you
important
base-
part of it.
No,
but
I'm
like,
saying if you
yeah.
base the reason that you're doing it. Oh no, if you wait to get married to do it. So I think it's better to just get it out the way.
Why you say that?
Because if like you said, it's a big part of marriage. So if you can marry someone for all the right reasons, do you think you can stay married to someone if the sex isn't?
Well, I think it's this way. I think a lot of times we poison our minds of what sex should be because of how much we've had before or how much porn we involve ourselves
Ooh,
in
look at
before.
you.
Because so like if you go into marriage with a fresh like take on sex and then your spouse comes in the same way, then you guys are learning together, experiencing together, experimenting together, and all these different things where you guys are on the same bar. But if you go in with far more experience or like different expectations and she's like a virgin, you're like, I don't like the sex. I don't know if I even love her. Yeah. But it's like, just because you're too far down in the hole.
That's a good point.
By the way,
Say
it
it
was
again?
really weird when I had sex and it wasn't like the porn that I had watched. It was just
Exactly.
I definitely desensitized myself from that. Like I was like, maybe if you put on a clown mask or something.
I need to pick up a pizza.
Okay, so are you guys old enough to where you actually had magazines, or was it like all internet for you
Oh,
guys?
that's a good story. So
Okay.
I'm actually so old that I've experienced all of it. So I remember the first time I actually looked at a video, and remember, I didn't lose my virginity until I was old, so I was going to town a lot. So I had.
Oh, we remember.
I had a side. Yeah, I
Walking
had a,
around, he had a huge right arm.
I had a sidekick with a bunch of pictures in it, and I remember one of my friends had to use my phone, and he was like, "Bro, why do you have all these pictures?" And I was so embarrassed. I was like, "I use them. You know why I use them?" He's like, "No, it's not that. It's just." Why don't you just use video? Like, why are you using still pictures like it's 1990? And at the time, it was like 2001. So I remember I got a PSP, and I got it from a friend who had a bunch of porn in there already. So it was perfect. So after like I sanitized it all the way to death, I went through his catalog, and like it was some weird stuff. And at first I felt guilty, but then I was like, you know what? Nobody's ever gonna know. So I used what he had in there. And,
The videos.
yeah.
So that's your crack then. The cocaine is the pictures. The crack is the video.
Yeah, or you think that nobody's going to find out until one day, like your mom comes into your room and it looks like you're reading a Sports Illustrated, but like, you know, it's a little off or whatever. And so she asks what you're really looking at, and, you know, you looking at a
well, she would never know what I was reading.
Have you guys
all the
ever
pages were stuck together?
All right. Has anybody ever actually got caught
Hey,
I've been caught looking at porn but not whacking it.
by your parents?
Yeah, my mom walked in, like I put a little football magazine, like Sports Illustrated or something,
How old
over
were
the
you again?
magazine. I was in high school.
What did she say?
how old are you again?
36.
How old am I? I'm 36.
I'm 32.
It's like 18 years ago. It's like 2002.
Yeah, but like up in the mountains or whatever, it's not like
right. Right. The mountains.
in a ways, it's like we're about 10 years behind everywhere else as far as like
everything in the walls of the caves that they were living in. And light a candle.
No, man, I didn't have
Oh, my
internet
phone,
until
oh.
like, I think it was around my freshman year of high school. And it was that real slow, like, you know,
same with
like
me.
you pick up the phone or whatever and it kicks everybody off.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Heck yeah.
You walked in on me
Jeez.
one time, right?
I have not. Don't put that in there. I've never, no.
Realize I don't put that on me. There's still chances for that to happen.
No, I've
No?
never walked in on you.
Okay. I mean, we can edit it out. I mean, I'm just casually.
I've never been walked in
It's
on.
definitely happened because
You never been caught?
you don't forget stuff like that.
No.
The closest I've ever gotten caught was I had it in my browser and then I gave my mom my phone and it was still up.
What'd
But
she
she didn't
say?
say anything. But I know she saw it because she had to literally exit out.
That's awkward. What would you do if your daughter like handed you your phone and you saw a bunch of weird porn?
I would do the same thing. I just wouldn't say anything. Just give it to her.
That's
I
weird.
mean, we've hey.
No, I'm sitting here thinking about my stories in my head. I'm like,
Yeah,
So
something.
they're over here because he's like weave and he's over here
I know,
like,
because
who
I'm
the
like,
hell's weave?
we've seen other people's browsers and it's like,
oh,
we'll
yeah,
never
oh,
talk about
yeah.
it. We'll never talk about it.
Ooh,
They
is it
said
somebody I
I'm looking
know?
for something. I'm
Yes. Anyway,
Watch, you've been looking at some crazy stuff.
Wash sends me his porn every day.
On TikTok.
Every day. I know exactly. I know he's rubbing one off to drivers, truck drivers.
He be running one off to the Carolina dip.
It's crazy, man. Wash does not care. But my other friend, the hentai and octopuses.
Oh, I see where this is.
But I get it. But it just gets you into so many things, and it's just like, man, it's too much.
I'm against anime. Like, not because I'm like prejudiced against Japanese culture or anything like that, but the first anime I ever saw was one of those things you're talking about, like
hentai.
yeah, and it was like I'm like, nah, man, I can't do this. You know?
There's a difference between anime and hentai.
Well, I'm into the 3D stuff, the metaverse.
I won't lie. When those ads pop up,
If you see them enough, it's like, all right.
look at this CGI. Like,
I
this
think
is
it's
real.
Alice.
You sound like, is that Lois from Family Guy?
They get better and better though. It's like they get better and better, and it's like, all right, well, it's a game, so it's competitive too, and then you can actually win points.
Are you alone?
Yeah.
You won't last 10
Why? Yes, I bet I will.
Yeah, so
Kyle's like, challenge accepted. Barney Stinson.
all right, so you said something that made me wonder. I'm interested in what you guys say about it. You said something about Lois from Family Guy. All right, what cartoon characters did you find hot?
Growing up,
Rabbit.
Lola
Was it-
Rabbit?
Was it Lola Rabbit? No, you think about Lola Bunny.
Lola Bunny?
What's Peter? Not Peter Rabbit.
Yep, Bunny.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
thinking about
Yeah.
Oh, it is Lola Rabbit, isn't it?
Lola,
Rabbit's
it's Lola
wife?
something.
Her last name is Rabbit. Yeah,
It's Lola
I'm t-
Rabbit.
So
Yes.
her, but also she reminded me of the woman from Powerpuff Girls, the assistant that you never get to see her face.
Oh, yeah.
Very familiar with that.
So yeah, that was one of mine. I'm trying to think who else. Patty Mayonnaise.
Was she black?
I don't know.
After this, let's talk about race and preference. After this, but Betty Rubble.
From what?
Betty Rubble.
Flintstones, dude.
Oh,
Gosh.
really? You like Betty?
Yeah.
Huh?
You like Betty?
I did. The dark hair. She kind of.
I liked Daphne from
Scooby Doo.
Dude, yeah. I think that Daphne and Fred were just like hooking up all the time.
Thelma. I'm sorry, it's an orange dress, right?
Yeah.
But
Thelma.
Was it Thelma or Velma?
Velma.
Velma.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Lois Griffin.
Hey, Bulma. When I was watching Dragon
I
Ball
feel
Z.
Lois Griffin. Also for me, Princess
18.
Jasmine.
Heck yeah, Android 18.
Princess Jasmine. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Princess
She
Jasmine.
also had a personality
Sailor
I kinda
Moon.
liked. I didn't like Sailor Moon.
Wait, hold on. 17 was the guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure I don't like the comments.
He was also underage.
He was also underage.
Yeah, but apparently that doesn't matter to everybody.
Well, if you're an android, then.
Well, in your dreams, it doesn't matter.
Who else? A cartoon character.
Lola from
Lola Bunny.
Yeah.
We just said that, didn't we?
Where have you been? You can hear all of us.
Aren't you recording this?
You did press the button. I'm joking.
Drugs are bad, okay?
Hey, I'm doing this.
I'm trying to remember all the cartoons I used to watch.
I
growing
can't
up.
think of anything right now.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, from Archer. Does that count?
Misty.
Does Archer
From
count?
the-
I always had a thing for Misty too.
Just those little shorts.
It's the
And she
trailer
actually had
park.
on a little cut off top too.
on
She
Archer.
did. She. No.
Wait,
from
talking
Pokemon. Misty.
Oh, Misty. You were talking about Archer, and you said
Oh
Misty.
yeah, but Archer, does that
Lana,
count though?
definitely Lana
Yeah.
from Archer.
Yeah, I did like Misty. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. I always had a crush on Misty. Wendy's. The mascot from Wendy's.
Oh, I like
Burger
Raven.
No, I have a
Redheads,
weird,
man.
I have a weird relationship with redheads because my mom's a redhead, and so it's like,
Freud is-
when I find a redhead
Don't hold your hand
attractive,
like
I
that.
always
Don't
feel
hold
bad
your hand
about
like
it.
that.
You know, like,
Don't dildo your hand while you're talking about it.
yeah. So
I like redheads though.
I want to
do
like
too.
redheads,
Green
I just
eyes.
can't.
I don't care what color. I just like I like freckles. So I don't
Yeah,
care if you're
most
black,
redheads
white,
have
Asian.
freckles.
If you got freckles, I like them.
Yeah, I guess. You know, I always had a thing for gap teeth.
I always had a thing
Like
for.
a small, subtle gap, like Madonna.
So like Michael Strahan with a wig.
But there's a reason why Michael Strahan's never gotten his gap fixed. I mean, if you're 6'7", built like a lineman, you can have a gap. It's considered attractive. But Madonna?
She
That
can't.
was weird.
No, I mean, a gap. People think that a gap is like bad hygiene.
No,
Like you should get braces.
it's just
a lot of people think that.
that's not a hygiene thing.
That's like with AD too, with his brow. Because people like, that's
Oh,
his
his-
signature thing.
Yeah.
And at this point, some women find it cute. I'm sure.
I mean, somebody's gonna.
But
like
do you
for
think that
though.
cutting his brow would decrease his attractiveness or take away from
I
his
think it would make
signature
him
look?
look normal. I mean, I can't speak to what's attractive.
I don't know. I
When,
think
when I'm talking about a gap, I'm talking about the gap makes you look sexier. Like you
Oh.
won't look as cute with it.
you think Madonna would look uglier without her gap.
I think the gap makes her look sexier.
I don't know because I don't even like Madonna. So
I don't find Madonna attractive at all.
mean,
Not
At no
anymore.
point.
Because of the crack.
where do you get crack?
That's what I'm talking about.
What we got over here?
He's all over the place.
Be careful with my search history.
Are we gonna talk about religion? Are we gonna talk about religion in school?
What do you guys say about it?
I don't want to hear what Adam's take is.
Okay, so I am a devout Christian, and
Tell us.
do what?
Tell us more.
Okay,
he
well,
was
I
trying
was
to. You
getting
cut
ready
him
to. It was like that was okay. So
He's the worst Joe Rogan you've ever been on.
Yeah.
The podcast.
yeah, so I wouldn't want somebody in a position of influence over my kid that theoretically in the future that I'll have to try to talk them into something that I don't believe. And so for that reason, I think that religion should really not be a part of school. Talk about it like in an academic way. You have to introduce religion
Right.
for culture and stuff like that. But like as far as like pray, like having a class led prayer and stuff like that, I mean, I don't like that. In North Carolina, everybody's going to be a Protestant Christian. That's most of us. But like, what if you were in a place where like it was mainly Muslims or Hindus and they're leading a prayer that you don't agree with or whatever. So I think you've always got to think about that. And I just, I believe in the separation of church and state.
Yeah, that's where I was gonna go. I was thinking, you have the choice right now to put your kid in a Christian school if you want that to be the case. But as far as public school, I don't think that should be the way it goes.
Because what religion do you teach?
Yeah. Well, that's the whole point. Because if you don't separate church from state, then the government has a say in what religion is the religion that's going to be taught in school. Right. And so if they decide, oh, we like Hinduism right now, then that's what's going to be taught. If they're like, oh, we like Islam right now, then that's what's going to be taught. If they start doing some astrology stuff, then that's what's going to be taught.
What about politics?
I feel the same way.
Do they still stand for the flag at school? Do they still do the?
I haven't done that when I was in school.
I know they did it when I was in school.
They took the God out of it too. Like I pledge allegiance under
liberty and justice.
Justice.
We did the whole thing.
It wasn't they took out one nation under God. It just I forgot what it was after that. But like we
stopped pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
to which it stands.
To the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Y'all said under God though.
Yeah, but that's officially that's the Pledge of Allegiance.
They never took it out when I was in school.
Yeah, and it's like it wasn't originally part of the pledge. They changed it in I think the 50s to differentiate us from the communists, and it's still officially a part of the pledge, even though there's a significantly growing number of Americans that don't believe in any kind of a God, and that we're officially not supposed to have a state religion. So it's I think it's problematic. If they were to take it out, I wouldn't have any problem with it, even though I do believe in God and all of that. Yeah. But then here's my thing too. Also, I have a problem with like teaching kids like the just every day you have to salute the flag and say the pledge, and we would sing the national anthem and stuff. Yeah. Well, I think it can lead to bad things. Nothing wrong with being patriotic, but you can take it too far.
I don't think there's a problem with nationalism. It's like the problem is like you need to be patriotic.
Well, there's a difference between nationalism and patriotism.
Yeah, I think you're.
What's the difference between those two?
Well, like I think like nationalism is like
my country's better than yours.
Yeah, and like just an extreme patriotism, like Hitler, for example. Right. He was motivated primarily by German nationalism. Germany is the best country. We're the best people.
Do we not? Are we not supposed to say we're the best country though?
They do that all the time. God bless America and no place else. They do that all the time.
But that's a little bit different though. Like when you say God bless America and no place else, then you're saying F everybody else. I'm just saying I love everybody, but I know I'm the best.
That's patriotism.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with thinking your country's the best. Although I've never been to another country, so I don't know if my country's the best or not. But I'm pretty happy where I'm at. I have opportunity, I have safety and security and stuff like that. So, I'm cool with it, but, there are probably other countries that are better than this one.
Do you understand that? Like, nationalism is saying God bless America and no place
else. Well, I hear what you're saying. I get the difference between the two things that what you're saying as well. My understanding of nationalism is not saying that God bless America and no place else. My understanding of nationalism is God bless America and every place else, but my place is the best.
Yeah, that's just patriotism, what you're talking about.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's why I was asking, what is the true definition of it?
Well, I mean, I couldn't give you the definition. Nate's not here, but you get the gist.
Well, yeah.
And also, that it's kind of like, it gives me a vibe like they're trying to train our children to be soldiers.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much, I think, what it is. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, they come into high schools or whatever and start doing recruiting and stuff. I remember I talked to Marine recruiters when I was in high school, and my thought process was, hey, I like this dude's uniform, so
ROTC.
Maybe I should.
They start them out with the Boy Scouts.
Yep, ROTC. And they only go for the kids with low GPAs. And it's like, hey, let's be honest, bro. If you're not going to college, might as well go to war. We'll give you a Hellcat.
We have to take a break in a second, but I think there's a catch-22 in there. It's like you kind of want your kids to be patriotic, and how do you instill patriotism?
Who does? Why?
You don't want your kid to love the country that they're in and want to stand up.
I want them to be thankful for the country that they're in.
George W. Bush.
Yeah.
He's telling us we gotta cut.